So it may be August in the garden right now, but there are quite a few things that you can still plant, whether it's for succession planting or preparing for your fall garden. So today we're going to take a look at a few of those. If you have never been here before, my name is Marlene. Welcome to our Home and Garden channel. Now let's get started. So at this point, you may have harvested quite a few of your crops, and maybe many of your flowers have faded and are going to seed, but there's still so many things that we can plant in the garden in August. We'll take a look at 20 different crops and flowers. It will also include a couple of flowers that you will want to divide at this time so you can get wonderful blooms in the spring. So the first thing we're going to talk about is succession planting for things like beans. The main thing to bear in mind is what is your first frost date. And you count backwards based on the number of days it takes to give you your harvest or bloom time. So your first frost date is basically an average taken over a few years where they measure when your first temperature gets to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Could be that you may get some snow or maybe just frost on the ground overnight, or none of those, you don't see anything, but it's just that cold and your tender plants are not able to survive those kind of temperatures. And that's why it's so important to get them in the ground before all of that happens. When you're doing succession planting, cooler weather crops and evergreens are fine with that for the most part, but those tender plants are not. So you have to get going with those. So we'll start off with the beans first. Let's take a look at the beans. So beans are one of our favorite things that we like to grow. It says 55 days to harvest right here. But in truth and in fact, for us, usually it's about 6 weeks, that we get it. Because the temperatures are warmer now, the germination time is going to be less. So you could get them even quicker than that. And they just keep on producing. So just to take a look at what's going on in our garden with these right now. These are our green beans right here. And as you can see, we have lots more coming in. This was such a wonderful year for green beans for us. We had such a good harvest many times over. And there are lots of flowers still coming on. We have some peppers back there. This was a succession planting right here. We planted some new ones. We didn't have to do a lot because there are so many still coming, lots of blossoms and everything. But just to say that if your beans didn't do as well because, of heat or, other reasons, then you can always go ahead and plant some now, in the same area. If it was for disease, then you may want to put them in another location, but there's still lots of time to get them going. I'm in growing zone 8, so for me, I have a good while from August before we get to that first hard freeze. And just to make sure that everything runs smoothly and quicker, what you could do is soak them in water overnight. Not for too long though. I would say no more than a full day, because if you keep them too long, they can develop bacteria in there and it's gonna, make your seeds not germinate or be kind of weird. So you don't want that to happen. So just do it for 24 hours or just overnight, and you should pretty much be good to go with your beans. And sometimes you see they have a little crack, or it may just look swollen, but you'll get a jump start maybe 3 days or so on them. On to number 2, and that would be summer squash. And these ones, the time frame is good for them in terms of, getting them to come up from seed. Sometimes you'll see the days on the back to harvest. Sometimes it'll be on the front. It's on the back in this case. So for us, 45 to 55 days is certainly more than enough time if we were planning to sow any of those. So I would say go for it, if you're in a zone that will allow you to do that. Moving on to the next one, and that would be lettuce. And for lettuces, you'll want to avoid the head lettuce. You want to get like loose leaf lettuce because they tend to bolt less and they also mature a lot faster. And they'll even tell you on here that this variety specifically doesn't bolt that much in the heat, and also that is heat tolerant. So you'll want to do your research or look at the packets and see what they say and try to go for those so that we can have the most success. And they like the cooler weather too. So as it gets cooler, it's going to be even more beneficial for your lettuces. Another easy one would be pak choi. And these are some that my sister grew. I think it was last year that she grew these. She grows them every year, but I think we did this video last year. She grew them on her balcony garden. You can see they look really good out there along with her flowers. And she had a really, really nice harvest, as you can see right here. We did a video on that too, so I'll link it in the description box if you wanted to enjoy the harvest and see how everything came together for her. Next one would be amaranth greens, also known as callaloo greens. Very good one here. And I have an upcoming video that's going to go into more details about this wonderful, healthy, and nutritious plant. So be sure to stick around for that in our upcoming video. Next up will be, your cool root vegetables like your carrots and beets. They like the weather as it gets cooler, and they even taste better with a little bit of coolness on them. And I'll just say, guys, if it's not long enough for you to get, like really large carrots or beets, whatever reason, you can enjoy the greens on there. You can saute them or you can use them in salads. So it's a win-win situation either way if you plant them now. Moving on to our brassicas, the brassicas, they like cooler weather. And even though it says 90 on there, 90 days for the broccoli, it's perfectly fine because they can wait, they can handle the cold. And if it gets like to a really hard freeze, like sit down in the mid-20s or so, you can always cover them with a frost blanket if that happens. And the same is true for your cabbages as well too. So definitely a good time to go ahead and plant, brassicas like broccoli and your cabbages. Next would be green onions. And green onions can take the warmer weather and they can take the cooler weather as well too. Not cold, but cool. So an easy way that we do it is just when we buy them, sometimes we'll just cut the bottom off, like about 2 inches off the white part, soak them in water for about 5 to 6 days, but we change it the water at least once, and just plant them out. And it's a gift that keeps on giving, guys. So I'd say go for it. And the basil, you'd want to plant those in early August because they don't so much like when the weather starts to get cooler overnight. It kind of slows them down a little bit. So it's better to plant those in the earlier part of the month. So by the time it starts to get cool, they're fully established and they can hold their own really, really well. And then we have parsley. Parsley, they're pretty much good to go. If you put them now, you should have good success with your parsley. Next would be cilantro. These are a little bit opposite to the basil. These prefer the cooler nights, so it's better to plant these in later August, so that way, they can enjoy the cooler weather and be better for you. Dill, you can plant dill now. This one says 65 days, but this is a mammoth one, so it's going to take a little bit longer because it grows larger, but you have smaller varieties. But either way, they'll be okay. So you can, go ahead and get some dill. Moving on to our flowers. And the first one would be marigold. And marigolds are pretty hardy. They can take a hard freeze, but the cooler weather, little frost, they're perfectly fine with that because right here, these ones were in November in my garden 2 years ago. I was trying to save the seeds and I did a video showing you how to save the seeds from them. And they were perfectly fine with that. So I would say go ahead and give it a try. It wouldn't hurt, just to see how it turns out. And you can always put them in containers. If you need to put them in a sheltered area, you can do that if you wanted to. If you didn't want to take a chance on it, you could certainly go ahead and get some flats if they are available at your garden center. And just go ahead and plant them out that way. And they're always so beautiful in the, the fall landscape. What I'll say though is those are French marigolds. These right here are African marigolds, the bigger ones that look more like a pom-pom. So those take a longer time. So you surely wouldn't want to start those from seeds, but you can do the starts if you wanted to. Moving on to the next one, and that would be coneflower. One of my favorites as a perennial. They come back every year. So if you see them in your garden center in August, I would definitely go ahead and plant them out so they have enough time to establish their roots. And, when the weather gets cold, they're going to, die back, or I should say go dormant. And then they're going to come back up in the spring and just be absolutely beautiful for you. So they'll get a head start. The same thing is true for your black-eyed Susans as well. They are actually cousins, so they behave in a very similar way. And these are some I got here from a dear fellow gardener back in the fall as cuttings, and I put them out here. And they came up so nicely. And in this video, I kind of showed you, how they came along and how my garden is looking in the summer, late summer with all of these things that are blooming. So be sure to check that out when you get a chance at the end. And I just wanted to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to our channel if you have never done so. Before we do garden DIYs, we love to show you what's at the garden center to give you good ideas, for your garden. We go over common mistakes that we and others have learned from so you can have an easier garden experience. So be sure to hit the bell twice so you never miss an upload. There's always something here for you, and always check back to see if you've missed any of our previous videos or playlists. Moving on to the next one, and that would be Cosmos. So this one can be a little tricky depending on where you are. I'd say if it's growing zone 9 and warmer, you can certainly plant these in August. The thing about them is that they love heat. So if it starts to get really cool overnight very quickly, then you most likely will see that they're not doing as well. So you may want to hold off until next year if you're in a colder zone. Similar situation is true for sunflowers. Um, you would want to get the varieties that are a little bit smaller in size, like these ones on the left. And these are ones you would definitely want to soak so that way they get a head start, in terms of being ready for germination. Again, because the soil is warmer, it's going to be shorter than what you typically see on the back, because those are instructions for the springtime, not for summer, like we're looking at right now. Mammoths are large ones, so I probably would not do those at this point. It's not enough time for them to develop. Now we move on to bearded iris, one of my favorite things in my garden. I absolutely love them. And they just bloom so beautifully in the springtime. But preparation has to be done, in August for them to give you the best result. If you've had them, like, say, 4 years or more, they really will need to be divided. And these rhizomes, the undergrown swollen stems that they have, they are subject to frostbite, because they have to stay as close to the top of the soil as possible for you to get good results from them, and they don't have root rot. So you'll want to do that before they'll get frozen out. They need a clear 6 weeks before your first hard frost or first hard freeze. It's good to have a good strong trowel to go in and just dig them out and separate them out and space them out as you would want to, so that you can get the very best results from these plants. And I just absolutely love them. And some of my most watched videos are actually about the iris plant. So I will link the iris playlist at the end for you, so that way you can get lots of information, whether it's about when to plant them, pests and diseases, how to water them, if you should mulch them or not, and just even how to tidy them up at the end of the summer so they can look a little bit nicer even as you progress through this season. So that'll be in that playlist for you. Moving on to Siberian iris. It's a cousin to bearded iris. They're a little bit smaller in size, but they also grow from rhizomes as well too. And these beautiful ones are at the side of my garden. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll recognize them. And they weren't blooming as much this year, so I think I'm probably going to divide them this August so they can be, even better when they come up in the spring. So there are lots of beautiful things to enjoy in the garden and to plant at this time. The good thing about August is that as you start to get to the end of the month and into September, we get less pest pressure and less diseases because the temperatures are cooler, so it kind of keeps them at bay. So that's a plus right there. So continue to enjoy your garden, guys. And if it's a case where you want to mulch, go ahead and mulch. It's a good time to do it because it's still kind of warm out there. And of course, check for pests as usual, and monitor your watering to make sure that they're getting adequate water so they can continue to look good for the time that remains. And if you like hummingbirds, in my recent video I talked about 24 different flowers that they love. If they're in your migration path, these will certainly get them in your garden, and that will be linked at the end for you to take a look at it. So guys, it's a great time to keep enjoying this season. And just to say, we want to thank you again, channel members. You mean so much to us. And also those of you that continue to share our videos out with fellow gardeners, that also means a lot to us. And if this is the first time that you're coming on our channel, we certainly hope you will consider subscribing. We learn so much from each other, and gardening is just such a wonderful experience. There's so much to gain. You have food you can grow. You can enjoy beautiful flowers. You can attract butterflies, birds, and bees to your garden. And of course, you get a little bit of a workout every time you have to dig or, pull weeds or, watering, just different things. So it also has that physical aspect to it as well. You sweat a good sweat out there, get all those toxins out, and it works so well for you. So certainly worth considering. And I don't think you'll have any regrets. And we all learn, we may have killed a plant or a few, but we learn from our mistakes and we just keep going. So be sure to try if you're considering it. So thank you all so much for watching. Happy gardening. And I do hope to see you in the next one. Take care.